McGrath.
Yes, I too want to support this bill this evening, to thank and compliment the three deputies, Mark Ward, Denise Mitchell and Martin Kinney, for bringing forward this piece of legislation this evening. It's an effort, an honest effort, by County Dawley that have experience of what's going on the ground. And sometimes, Minister, I wonder, the system here, is it capable of really, no personal criticism, but is it capable of understanding this massive, couldn't say it enough, problem with drugs and drug taking and drug dealing across all stratas of society, all stratas, professionals, everybody, but the misery then that brings, you know, to all these citizens, and they tend to be from, yes, poorer backgrounds, as other people have said, and people that hadn't good time in life, but often as well, people that are different of different sectors of life fall off the different, and it starts, and it's a spiraling cycle. And I was on here this morning with a question on health, to appoint more drug workers in my own area in Tipperary, because we have minuscule, we're 50% short on most of our mental health people and all across a lot of stratas of the health situation, but it's spiraling out of control. And the misery and the intimidation and the threats that families get. And other deputies have recounted, and I want to recount as well, like families who have been devastated. When I get grandparents coming in front of me, seldom the parents, grandparents normally tell me that their grandson has been threatened, has to immigrate to Australia. And in one case, when they came back a year after, he didn't like Australia, came back and was intimidated to a certain degree that he took his own life. That happened more than once in my own town of Clonmel. And we are not doing enough. The Garda resources are just not sufficient. And the new Garda policy that they have now, it just happened in Tipperary this week, Monday morning, where we had a Chief Superintendent, Jerry Smart, and he was a good guy to deal with, very hands-on, but our resources are just miserable across the whole county in Garda numbers. And now that position is gone, and the new, and his name eludes me, the new Chief Superintendent for Tipperary is now based in Clare, covering 2 counties. The distance alone is just, and the disconnect and the removal of the powers that be in the connections. But I want to salute the ordinary Gardaí on the ground and the community Gardaí and the limited number of anti-drug squads for the work they do. But we have to deal in 2 fronts here. We have to deal with obviously criminality, but we have to deal with also the cause and and be compassionate about people. Like there's videos circulating of incidents in my own town last Friday, and every day for that matter, on the street of unfortunate people doing that are literally staggering around, wandering around, falling, abusing people, some people abusing each other in the middle of the day. And we need people to support them to try and get them into rehab. And, you know, we have to look at free legal aid cycles as well. We must try and get at this in the schools, because that's what I believe, I'm not blaming the schools, but in the homes, but the vaping is a problem now as well, and the kind of substances that are in it. We've had incidents too in Tipperary of unfortunate incidents with vaping. So it starts off, and it's so hard to stop it when it starts. And the amount of money that's involved, and the gangs, and everyone knows. We've been looking at Drogheda and other towns over the years, and we've been warning and pleading, look, don't let this happen in other towns. And it's been replicated. And the people doing this think, and they've been quoted saying, we have an army now, we can't be touched. It's unbelievable. No matter what. Yeah, I know, the Minister is not opposed to this bill, I see, and he's talking about legislation himself. But the legislation has to be robust and has to be strong, it has to be compassionate as well. But all the legislation in the world is useless if you don't have the resources. If we don't have the health workers alongside the other organisations, the Gardaí and others, if we don't have the social workers, if we don't have the mental health people or mental health beds and therapeutic services, we don't have them. You know, all the buildings go into the HSE, so we're in a very sad place, and it's so sad that people get entrapped and families get entrapped and they're not able to do it. So I hope this bill, you're accepting it, but how far it goes after that, I don't know, but I compliment the deputies and put it forward. Thank you.